So in the previous video, I mentioned how you can use the factoring the polynomials method to solve for quadratic equations ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So in this video, I will use the completing square method to solve the quadratic equations. So here's my example. So we have x squared minus 10x plus 16 equals 0, and I'm using the completing square method to solve for x. So the purpose of doing that, I want to isolate this number because I want to complete the square for the first two terms here. So this is the first two terms. I'm going to do the completing square, and let's see what is the result. So the second step involves the completing square for x squared minus 10x. So basically, I need to compute the area of the square for this one. I need to determine what's the number here to make this one equal to the area of the square. So basically, if I add the new number here, I need to add the new number here to make both sides of the equation equal to each other. So how could I figure out these numbers? So basically, if you remember from previous video I covered, if you take the 10, so which is the coefficient in the middle term, I'm going to divide it by 2, right? And I get the area of the square here. So this term becomes area of the square. And now if I add this number here, I need to add this number back. So we have 10 over 2. So if I want to add this number, I need to add this number to make both sides of the equation equal, and I'm going to solve for the x. So next one, I can simply factor out this expression because I know this is the area of the square. So basically, I can rewrite this as x plus or minus the constant square. So in this case, the constant here is -5. So we have minus here because we have the minus here. So the b value is this number. So b equals to 10 over 2. So 10 over 2 is a 5. So we have x minus 5 squared for this term. And also, the next term, we have -16 plus 25. So -16 plus 25 is positive 9. So I just change this to positive 9, and I'm going to solve for this equation. So in order to solve for the x, I need to put the square root here and do the square root inside the bracket, x minus 5 squared. So, and also equals to root 9. So if I put the square root here, I need to put the square root here as well. So this method is really dangerous. So as I mentioned in the previous video, if you take this number and do the square root, you will easily lose one solution. So how to avoid this one? So you always need to do plus or minus root 9. So when you take the square root, always need to put the plus or minus in the next term here. So this is now correct. So if you miss the plus or minus sign here, you will lose one solution. So I can further simplify this expression, and I write x minus 5 equals to plus or minus 3. So make sure you need to include this one. And when you solve for x, I just put the -5 to the other side of the equation. And we got x equals 5 plus or minus 3. So that's why we got x equals to 5 plus 3, so which is 8. And we got the other solution, x equals 5 minus 3, so which is x equals to 2. So next I want to cover how you can use the factor method to solve this quadratic equation, x squared minus 10x plus 16, the same equation as the first method. And I'm going to use the factor method this time, so let's refresh our memory how we can use the factoring to do this question. So if I have to do the factoring method, I need to do is to rewrite this expression into two brackets here. So each bracket will have at least one x. And we need to find the unknown value a and b. So one important thing is that this equation must be equal to this equation. In order to figure out the a and b values, basically I just need to expand this expression to this expression here. X squared plus a plus bx plus ab. So this must be equal to this one, right? So you see that the first term here is equal to the first term here, but the second term and the third term does not match. So if I want to make these equals, I need to make ab equals to 16, and also a plus b, the constant here, equals to -10. So I have this equation right here, a plus b equals to -10, and ab equals to 16. So I want to solve for this equation, system of equation. So I want to go from this equation first. I need to determine what two numbers multiply each other, give you the 16. And also these two numbers, the addition of these two numbers must be equal to -10. So let's think about this. So notice that I just ignore the positive values. So the reason why I ignore the positive value because when I add these two numbers, if these two numbers are positive, this number will not be negative. So that's why I ignore the positive value for A and B. And I just want to focus on the negative value. So here's the possible value, -1, -16. The multiplication of these two unknown values give us a 16. Addition of this one gives us -17. So for -2 and -8, the multiplication gives us a 16. Addition of this one gives us -10. So basically what combination I'm looking for? Basically I'm looking for a middle combination here, this column. So while I'm looking for this column, so you will see that if I take the -2 and -8, we multiply together and we got the 16. If I add these two numbers together, I got -10. So basically A value equals to -2 and B value equals to -8 for this solution. So we figured out the A value is -2 and B value is -8 for the previous example, and I can replace the A with -2 and B with -8. So if I want to solve for this equation, I need to break this into two parts, x plus 2 equals to 0, or x minus 8 equals to 0. So x equals to 2, or x equals to 8. So this is my solution. So basically, this solution is matched with the previous method.